Dear students, the lesson, the concert is a real story from the great sitar player Pandit Ravishankar's life. This story is retold to us by Shanta Rameshwar Rao. Let us learn about the author. Shanta Rameshwar Rao was born in 1924. She has retold tales from Indian scriptures and reworked folk tales and myths from little known tribal communities and far flung areas of India. Her works, mainly retold stories, are how the stork got its long neck, why snakes have forked tongues, etc. She also wrote children's Mahabharata and worship of Shiva. Now, let us see the lesson. Pandit Ravishankar is playing tomorrow in the Shanmukhananda auditorium. A girl looked up from the newspaper and said excitedly, Shh, you will wake him up. You know, he needs all the sleep and rest he can get, said her mother, pointing to the figure sleeping on the bed. But the boy was not sleeping. Pandit Ravishankar, the sitar maestro. He raised himself upon the elbows for 1 second and then fell back. We must not miss the chance. I have always wanted to hear him and see him, he said. Lie down, son, lie down. His mother sprang to his side. He actually raised himself up without help, she murmured with a catch in her throat, and her eyes turned to the idols on a corner shelf. The prayer, which she uttered endlessly, came unbidden to her lips. I must hear him and see him, the boy repeated. It's the chance of a lifetime. Then he began to cough and gasp for breath and had to give an oxygen from the cylinder that stood under the bed. But his large eyes were fixed on his sister. Smita bit her lips in self-reproach. Somewhere deep inside, Smita had known the frightening truth that Anant was going to die. Her brother was dying of cancer. They were a family of 4 from Gaganpur. He was only 15. He was the best table tennis player in the school and the fastest runner. He was learning sitar and he was already able to compose his own tunes to the astonishment of their guru. Then cancer had struck and they had come to Bombay to treat him at the cancer hospital. Whenever they came to Bombay, they stayed with Aunt Sushila. Her apartment was not big, but there was always room for them. They had come to Bombay with high hopes in the miracles of modern science. But his condition grew worse with each passing day, and the doctor said, Take him home, give him the things he likes, indulge him. But they didn't voice their fears. They laughed and smiled and talked and surrounded him with whatever made him happy. But now he was asking to go to the concert. When you are better, his mother said. This is not the last time they are going to play. Smita stood at the window, looking at the traffic, her eyes filled with tears. Her mother whispered, But you, Smita, you must go. Your father will take you. When she was alone with Aunt Sushila, Smita cried out in a choked voice, No, how can I? We have always done things together, Anant and I. A walk in the park might make you feel better, said Aunt Sushila. In the park, people were walking, running, playing ball, doing yogic exercises, feeding ducks and eating roasted gram and peanuts. Smita felt alone amidst them. Suddenly, a daring thought came to her. She hurried home. It would be nice to go to the concert. I don't know when we will get another opportunity to hear Pandit Ravishankar. The next day, Smita and her father were leaving for the concert. Her brother smiled and said, Enjoy yourself. And he said in a painful gasp, Lucky you. Sitting beside her father in the gallery, Smita heard in a dream the thundering welcome the audience gave the great master. Then the first notes came over the air. Smita felt as if the gates of enchantment and wonder were opening. Spellbound, she listened to the unfolding ragas, the slow, plaintive notes, the fast, twinkling ones, but all the while the plan she had decided remained firmly in her mind. The chance of a lifetime, she heard Anand's voice in every beat of the tabla. The concert came to an end, and the audience gave the artist a standing ovation. A large mustached man made a boring speech. The curtain came down. Smita wriggled her way through the crowds towards the stage. Then she went up the stairs that led to the wings, her heart beating loudly. He was there, standing with the man who played tabla for him, the great wizard of music, Ustad Allah Raka. Her knees felt weak, her tongue dry, but she went up and standing before them, her hands folded. Oh, sir, she burst out. Yes, he asked questioningly but kindly, and her story came pouring out. The story of her brother who lay sick at home and how he longed to hear him and the Ustad play. Little girl, the mustached man said, Panditji is a busy man. You must not bother him with such requests. But Pandit Ravishankar smiled and motioned him to be quiet. He turned to Ustad Sahib and said, What shall we do, Ustad Sahib? The Ustad moved the wad of pan from one cheek to another. Tomorrow morning we perform for the boy. Yes? He said. Yes, Panditji replied. It is settled then. It was a very excited Smita who came home late that night. Anand was awake, breathing the oxygen from the cylinder. Did you hear him? He whispered. I did, she replied. And he will come tomorrow morning with the tabla, Ustad, and they will play for you. The following morning, Aunt Sushila's neighbors saw two men getting down a taxi pulled up outside their block. They couldn't believe their eyes. It's not possible, they said. Pandit Ravishankar and Ustad Allah Raka went up the wooden staircase and knocked softly on the door of Aunt Sushila's apartment. They went in, sat down on the divan by the window, and played for the boy, surrounding him with great and beautiful happiness as life went out of him gently, very gently.